So it's where Croft Road meets Hyde End Lane. This is just around the corner from where I live. So, join me today for a walk. So, High Tops Pavilion is a new feature around here. Let's go and have a look. I've actually gone this pathway before, but it's been a few days since I last walked this way. Maybe the winds have taken these fences down recently. That's a big open space, and over there is the new cricket green. That I think it's going to be open in time for the summer. So this is the new cricket pavilion. Just going to have a closer look. I've seen people in there recently having meetings and stuff like that, so it's all up and running. Let's go around the back and check it out. It's nice to be back outside again, really. Out in the open, out in the fresh air, and taking a bit of a walk. It's been I've certainly been stuck indoors quite a bit recently. Oh right, yeah, cool. Heat pumps. Becoming the standard these days. Can't really see an awful lot, it's all shut up at the moment. But let's have a look around. We've got an area of open space over here, which some trees have been planted, and I'm guessing it's just going to be like a picnic area or something. Lots of disabled parking. Quite a decent sized car park actually for all the visitors and players and stuff. And back out onto the nearby fields, and just over there is the Dobby's Garden Centre. It's no longer Dobby's. They closed it down just before Christmas, but another company's taken over. British Garden Centres have taken over, and it's due to open fairly soon. So we'll take a walk past there on the way back actually, and see if it's open. I don't think it is yet. Might be a little bit too early. Let's go have a look around the front. Yeah, so it's called High Tops Pavilion. And it's taken quite some time to build it actually. So I think must be some hold-ups somewhere. But yeah, it looks really good. It's got a kitchen inside, changing facilities, and the main thing will be cricket, obviously, but there will be other sports taking place here, I believe. And around the front, yeah, it's all shuttered up at the moment. Yeah. But the great thing is this pathway that's been set up. I think that's really good, because we've now got a large number of pathways have all been set up around the area, which is great for connecting things up. Plenty of cycling, bike shelters. So this field is the same field that I was on the other side of just a few moments ago, and you can see the pavilion just over the other side, and just over that way is the garden centre, formerly known as Dobby's. So in the summer, this field is mostly used for growing maize, and a lot of the fields around here are always under a certain amount of pressure from development, and this whole area was owned by the University of Reading, and they still have sort of a certain amount of say on pockets of land around here still. And of course with new people moving in like ourselves, there's been a lot of pushback against the development of not just housing but other facilities. There's a meadow over that way which is loved by everybody, and they wanted to turn it into more sports fields, and a lot of people, pretty much everyone, objected, so they kind of toned it down somewhat. I think they got one play field up in the far side of the meadow, and the rest is left to wilderness, which is good. And the reason it's good is because it's a nesting site for skylarks, and normally you start to hear them around about now, but I think the weather's been so wet and so cold and so windy, things feel a little bit behind at the moment. For example, I haven't seen any daffodils yet, and in the past few years I've seen a lot of daffodils and other flowers coming up quite early, but everything's still quite dormant still. But with the exception of one or two things that we've seen. So here we are. Aha! The first daffodils. There you go. It's talking about the lack of daffodils, and there's some. So, opening fairly soon, British Garden Centres. So, that's going to be really good. And yeah, I can imagine they're going to turn it into something really good. So we'll go and check that out once it's opened. There's some more daffodils over here actually. Sussex Lane. I believe it used to have a different name. It used to be called Pitts Lane or something like that, because many years ago there used to be gravel pits down here that were used for construction, I'm guessing. Getting away from that busy road. Quite noisy. And it's starting to rain. Feel the moisture in the air. So Sussex Lodge is just behind this wall. That will be the oldest property along here. I'll show you somewhere interesting in a moment. It's a place that played a part in my childhood. because I lived in this village until I was about 10 years old. And we moved somewhere else, but for a period of time, I used to come to a nursery down here, and let's see if I can find it. It's quite a distinctive cottage, now a private home, so I don't want to snoop around too much. This is interesting. It just goes to show when you've not got a feeling. It's this place here. It's this house here. I don't want to encroach on them. On the way back, I'll have a look at the name. It's the name will jog my memory. Oh wow. For quite some time, this area of land was fenced off, and it's been rejuvenated into a glorious new built house. It's a nice part of the village here actually, because you're back onto fields, as in another video. We're going to have a look at those fields because that's where I used to play as a kid, back in the days when you would go out. Oil pipeline, ooh, that's interesting. No digging. Yes, I think that'd be a good idea. That's a bit of a shock. That might explain why some of this land has never been developed, which a lot of people down here will be very, very pleased about. I'm going to see how far I can get along this pathway coming up. Probably not very far because it's very muddy, and my walk was not, well, I wasn't planning to walk in muddy areas, to be honest. So we'll do it another time, because if we go that way, it takes you down to Swallowfield, and it takes you across the River Loddon, and it's a nice long walk, that one. We'll do that another time. And you can just see over there, I'll zoom in the edit, banks of solar panels. A great big solar farm, which is a big thing around here. So, backtracking to Hyde Road, and my old road back in the 70s and the early 80s.